Hello, everyone. And it is Tuesday. We got here in Arizona just, last night. It was about supper time before we actually got here. And so I'm very excited to just do my very first live down in Arizona. And it has been very, very busy. We have been putting boxes away because I boxed up all kinds of stuff so that we could just take it right out. And I used a marker, and it was like Joe's clothes, Sandy's clothes, miscellaneous, glass, different things, because I brought my kiln down here. And what I'm really hoping to do is keep my kiln here and then get a little bit bigger one up in Wyoming. Well, look who's here. Hello, hello, hello to you. It was a great trip, and we got to stop and see Jordan and Phoenix, and that was really fun. And adventures on the homestead. Thank you. Oh, you just got back from Texas. How exciting. I love Texas. And Rick at Lala Farms is here. Can't stay long, but wanted to drop in and say hello. Well, thanks so much, Rick. I appreciate it. I know that you guys are so busy with all the stuff that you do, and kids, grandkids, goats, all kinds of stuff. So I really appreciate that you stopped by. And actually today, let me put this little banner up, is Doug's birthday at His Way Homestead. So make sure that you say happy birthday to Doug if you are one of his subscribers or viewers. And so I appreciate it. Oh, thank you. It was a good trip. We can get down here in 2 days. But what we did was we did 3 days so that we could go over to Phoenix and see one of our sons. And Angie is saying, I picked my hydroponic green peppers, got 12. We stayed at Angie's house the first night. And she has this tent that has this humongous pepper growing in it. It's inside, it's hydroponics. And she has this mutant pepper, and it's like 4 peppers in one, but they've merged together. And it is just the craziest thing you've ever seen. Sorry, wrong one. Jennifer says, I just moved to Arkansas and all of our stuff is still in storage. Wish I had labeled better. Oh, well, I just think that if you can just take the marker, and then any box that I needed to have a certain direction, when I put it in the truck, I put up arrows so that when we were doing stuff, we didn't have to worry about it. And Jennifer, I hope you actually have a great time in Arkansas. Joe and I actually looked at Arkansas to move there, but we just didn't have any family there, and so that was hard. And Mary's Ranch and Wild Cooking, she is one of my members, and she actually won a piece of my fused glass on Friday on my other channel. And Mary, I mailed it today, so you should get that in a couple days. And it was so cute. We went to the post office, and the post office, even though we're in Arizona, is the post office I use is 8 minutes away, and it's actually on the other side of the Colorado. So it is in the Colorado River. It's in California, because it's a much smaller post office, and the one in Yuma is a humongous post office, and you wait and wait and wait and wait. And so I just got my PO box in California, which is kind of confusing to some people because they go, I thought you were in Arizona. Well, it's 8 minutes away. Much easier. And little Wendy's Daydreaming, she was one of my winners not too long ago too. Hello, Sandy Wonderful. Wonderful, you had a great trip. I love Arizona. We lived in Glen Rock. Oh, Glen Rock is a very cool place to live. Cool. And we have just been meeting so many people that are either here for just the winter, or they have become transplants to Arizona. And we were at the post office today, so I'm mailing the packages to Mary and Sheila that had won. And it was just so funny. Now there's a young kid, he's probably, I say young kid, he's probably in his 30s, early 30s. And it, I mail in the 2 packages and he goes, "Well, how's your YouTube channel?" He's the guy behind the counter. And it was like, "You remembered me and from last year?" And so that was just so funny. And I told him, we're at 62,000 and he was talking about because we were talking about how hot it had been in Arizona and California this year and gardening and all just stuff, but it was totally, I was just told Joel, he knew who I was, we haven't been there for six months and he remembered who I was. And I thought, he has a good memory. That is just craziness. But we got here, we took everything out of the truck, we set the kiln, we had the shed, because in Arizona, especially in Yuma, Arizona, people have their washers and dryers outside because it doesn't freeze. And so lots of people have them in their sheds, or they have them on a big deck, and one little part they have their washer and dryer, which is the craziest thing, because who has a washer and dryer outside? Well, in Yuma, Arizona, lots and lots of people have their washer and dryer outside. So, but we put the kiln right next to it in the shed, and it's already wired for 120, which I needed for my kiln. So it was perfect. So I'm going to run my first fused glass tomorrow. I'm actually going to make this stuff up tonight. So I'm totally excited about that. And we never shut our water off because I have new fruit trees. And so we planted 2 different kinds of lemons last year, a Ponderosa lemon and a Meyer lemon. We planted a blood red orange, which has fruit on it. And so does the Ponderosa lemon, has fruit on it, and a ruby red grapefruit. And so I have these great big trenches around them, which is awesome. And yet the water twice a week would fill up these trenches and water them. Well, I had moved all my stuff that was in my tower. Remember, because I made these things and they had all kinds of herbs and flowers. Well, I planted all those around the fruit trees. Now, what I did not realize is just how much they were going to grow, even though it was over 100 for like 3 or 4 months. But they got water twice a week. And so I have never seen basil so big in my life. The lemongrass was taller than me. The thyme and oregano are these just massive things, but they're stalks. You know how usually you're growing basil. Oh, wait a second. Doug from His Way Homestead is in. Happy birthday! I have a card I haven't mailed you, so I will try to mail that tomorrow. I don't know why I didn't mail that at the post office today, but I didn't. And so Doug is my YouTube brother, and I wish that we lived next to him and Shelly. I do. We'd have so much fun. And Jennifer says, "Yep, our dryer is in the screened-in porch here at the Airbnb." Fun. See, it's not just in Arizona. Other places people have them outside. When we came down the very first time to visit my parents, Joe says, "How can people have washer and dryers outside?" And then he goes, "It doesn't freeze." But today we were putting more and more stuff away. We went and got groceries. We went to Home Depot because tomorrow I'm doing a video on how to make the cheapest, long-lasting raised beds you will ever see. So I hope I get it all done tomorrow. So I'll either have the video up tomorrow night or on Thursday. But so we bought all the components to it other than the soil, and I'll pick that up tomorrow. And we bought a few tomato plants and a couple of pepper plants because I had tomatoes, to bring in pots that I've been growing, and there just wasn't room. There was a lot of tools that Joe wanted to bring. I wanted to bring my whole bunch of, like my glass stuff, just miscellaneous stuff and a few books, and it filled up the whole back of the truck. And that was just the way it is. I thought maybe it would be fun to have the dogs ride on the roof, but Joe said no. So they had to be in their kennel and they had to ride in the back seat. So, well, Shawnee, how are you? And how is everything up in your neck of the woods? I don't know if, here, like in Wyoming, it's very hot summer. Arizona is very hot summer, but I don't know about Canada, on how it was. And yes, I did bring my vanilla because last year I forgot my vanilla, and I have to do the video on my spice rum vanilla and my regular vanilla. So I'm just totally excited about it. Oh, and I received my gift from you yesterday. Awesome. Yeah, I love giving things away. If you've watched any of my channel for very long, I love giving stuff away. Now, this is the first time we have been down here. We were here last winter, but everything was turned on then. My dad had got here before we did, and everything was turned on. So we had to do everything ourselves. And there's a circuit breaker in the shed, and there's a circuit breaker in the house. And when I talked to my dad, he said, I shut some of the things off on the circuit breaker inside and outside. So I think he's just talking about those two things. That's what I think. And we have no electricity when we get here. It's supposed to have been turned on. And so I called the power company, and she goes, well, they're a little behind schedule. And so I think, okay. So I wait about 3 hours, and I call again, and the guy goes, well, it got turned on this morning. And I said, I don't have any power. And he goes, go look around and see on the property, because I told him it was the first time we were turning everything on. And so there's a pole behind the shed, and my dad had turned that breaker off. So that's what he meant outside. I thought he was talking about the shed, though there were circuit breakers off on the shed. Oh, look at here. Angie says it's supposed to snow next Wednesday. You better come to Arizona, Angie. And Johnny says, rain, rain, more rain, but not cold. Oh, good. So it wasn't too bad. The fall leaves are wonderful, and it is our Thanksgiving this weekend because Shawnee is in Canada. That's exciting. Do you have like turkey and dressing and that kind of stuff, or do you have other things that you have? Reagan? No. Sorry, Reagan's barking. Joe's outside vacuuming dog hair. Now the dogs are in the kennel, and you would think that all the dog hair would stay in the kennel. But no. No. Doug, what are you saying? Your hair is so cute. You're so sweet. So sweet indeed. You will notice in the chat that Nightbot is showing different YouTube channels. And these are people that are my members. So I just appreciate it. And so I wanted to do that on my lives. And Angie says, in 10 years, I'll be 55. Because where I live, you have to be 55. We have this little village. It's called Magnolia Village. And so you have to be 55 or you can't live here, which is kind of nice, though I love kids, And Brian says, hey, Sandy. Brian Hassel at Castle Heights is one of my newest members. So I appreciate that you came in. And looky who is here. Chad. I'm driving home, but thumbs up. Can't be typing. No, don't be typing while you're driving. Now, Chad at 9252 Life Off Grid. If you have not watched his channel, you have missed out. I remember on a Monday night when I, last winter when I was doing different channels I thought you should check out. I did a thing about Chad. And I said, you guys need to pay attention to Chad. And he has almost 30,000 subscribers now. He has crazy videos about him and his wife and 4 girls that live in Michigan, um, on really raw land. They have a little tiny old cabin and they're doing all this stuff and they're building greenhouses and they have goats and they have all this stuff. You should really check him out. He is just awesome. And Doug says, I just renewed my driver's license and it won't expire until I'm 65. That is awesome. I have to do mine next summer. And ours are in Wyoming, I think we are 2 or 3 years before you have to do it again. So it's awesome, you know. Doug, you'll turn 65, and what will you do? You're going to have to retire. That's right. And Brian is saying hi to Doug and Chad. That is so nice. Things that did not work when we got here. Besides electricity, but that was really me misunderstanding my dad. So it wasn't really that it wasn't working. They had already turned it on. I just didn't realize there was a breaker on that pole. I knew that there was a thing that spins around and so they can tell how much electricity you're using, but I didn't realize that. But our printer will not work. And, you know, we close it all up, but there's no electricity on in the summertime. So I'm sure it was like a tin can in here. In fact, the air conditioner just turned on again. And so we have to go buy a new printer, I think, tomorrow. You know, we did all the things and uninstalled it, reinstalled it, and it knows it's there, but it keeps saying it's offline, but it will do some things. And so first we're going to try a cable connection instead of the Wi-Fi, because maybe the Wi-Fi just got too hot. But we'll see. I don't know. Johnny says, can you believe you are up to 62,000 subscribers? I remember when it was below 1,000 and you were kind of discouraged. I was discouraged. I was putting up so many videos all the time and I thought it was good content. And I talked to Angie one day and I said, I'm just going to stop. I'm not going to do this anymore. And she says, no, you just got to keep going. And then it wasn't too long after that. And it was just like change. And it was awesome. And so I appreciate the encouragement I got from not only Angie, but from other YouTubers and subscribers. And that just had me keep going. Pathways Homestead, how are you? How's Kansas? Are you hot? Do you know that it rained in Arizona this morning? I woke up, it must have been about 5 o'clock in the morning, and I can hear it raining. And I can hear thunder and lightning, which it doesn't really thunder and lightning in this part of Arizona. I know other parts it does, but not really here. And so I was just so excited. And so when we were grocery shopping, we had to go to Home Depot and stuff, I was looking for a rain gauge. Now, you cannot find a rain gauge in Yuma, Arizona. And in fact, at Home Depot I pulled up their site on my phone while I'm wandering around looking for a rain gauge. And it said, none available in Yuma, Arizona, but we can send it to the store for your pickup. And Joe keeps laughing at me. He's going, of course they don't sell rain gauges in Yuma, Arizona. It doesn't rain hardly. I said it rained this morning. And it's just crazy. Brian says, I'm blown away that I broke 1,000. Now he's close to 1.7. See, once you get past that 1,000, then all of a sudden it starts to change. And then you get bigger and bigger and bigger. And Brian has great videos on honeybees. Now, Brian, I did not have time to take my honey out of my hives. So I'm not sending you honey in my hives until when we get home in the springtime. I'm sorry. I just tried and it was just like, I just didn't have time. And it was, because I was going to have to take them out of the hive and then spin it, to extract it. So I'm sorry. I apologize that you won't get my honey until springtime. And, well, look who else is here. Tony Oliver. It rained in Scotland too. Some, same as yesterday, the day before, and most likely tomorrow. Now, Tony is one of my subscribers, and he asked me months and months ago if I would do my video on my two vanillas on his birthday, December 5th. So it's marked on my calendar. So, Tony, I will be doing it then. And the Green Acre is here saying hi to everybody. Stella is here. Hello. How are you? Kay King. See, I did not realize you were in Texas. So, hello, hello, hello. And Pathways Homestead, we are just over 1,100. Seems to be slowing down a little bit. It's unusual because, it goes up real fast and then you have that flattening out, and it'll go up and flattening out. And I think some of it is just when YouTube sometimes takes people off that haven't watched a lot of videos. That's what people say. I'm not sure if that's true or not, but that's what I have heard. And so that could be. But I always think, I remember when I hit 1,000, I was just so excited and so amazed, that it was happening. And YouTube has just been so much fun. Yeah, I think that's true. You don't know what will hit the algorithm. And all of a sudden, somebody likes something, and it's just like this snowball effect. And it is just amazing on what happens. Now, on my other channel, let me see if I can find that. Okay, those are my two other channels that I have. Because I'm not busy enough with one channel. And look at here. Lala Farms, Rick says, we should go through 6K this week, hoping. That is so exciting. And Healthy Homestead Chick, this is Shelly. Shelly, how are you? I was talking about you before, that I wish I was your neighbor. And Shelly has Healthy Homestead Chick. Doug has His Way Homestead and Commander Bacon. Hi, Tina. How are ya? Tina Ladybug. Hoo. The Green Acre says we're so close to 500. So if you haven't gone over, make sure that you go over and subscribe to all these great channels that you see on the side. And sometimes it goes fast and you go, oh, I don't know if I can do, but you can always watch it again and find all the channels too. So it's just amazing. But we bought a cabinet today that we're going to put together after supper tonight, and to put all my garden stuff. So that's out of the shed. So Joe's tools have more room in the shed. And so we'll put that together. And then we bought a kiddie pool today. Those blue ones? They're about, 4 feet across for the dogs. That's right. We filled it with water, and so we're going to let them play in it. And I think they'll have fun because it was about 90 some today, and tomorrow 90 some, but then it goes down to the 80s and a couple days the 70s. So it'll be great fun. And I'm making my planters tomorrow. I have my one stack from last year, and I just drill a hole right here. And then I put a rebar in the ground because I don't want the wind to tip it over. Not that they really have wind here. People complain when it's 5-10 miles an hour. And I said, we live in Wyoming when that would be nothing. That'd be a little breeze. But I'm going to do these. And one time I'm going to do strawberries. I'm going to have herbs and flowers. And I think I'll have enough of them to do 4. And so I'm excited about that. Hello, you guys. Don't you just love their little icon, their little calf. Oh yeah, I am loving it always. I hope you guys are doing good. And I love it that people are always chatting back and forth, talking back and forth. Once it cools off this week, I'm going to start herbs and garlic. I actually we have this place that's called here in Arizona, Green Tree. And you would be like Rob's up in South Dakota and Wyoming. And they had the most humongous garlic in there today. So I bought some. I'm just going to plant it and see if it'll grow. I have my garlic that I brought down that had been in the freezer, so it tricks it to think that it was winter. So I'm going to plant that in part of the raised bed. So we bought enough stuff to do 3 raised beds, and we'll see how it all goes together. And I do have to get the soil, but otherwise it will be great. And I pulled weeds around the fruit trees, but one of our friends that lives here actually sprayed vinegar for me. I put vinegar in one of those pump sprays, and so there was a few weeds, I guess, through the summer, and they just sprayed them. So that was really nice of them to do that, and I totally appreciated that. Oh, Jason, how are you, Jason? Thank you for stopping in. I appreciate it. And Brian's saying, I need to clear my garden to get ready for garlic soon. Yeah, because if you can plant it now and then it goes through the winter time, it's awesome. But I think we did really good at getting our boxes put away last night and today. The things are all in the closet. We did our groceries, so those are up in the cupboards. And we're going to have to do a couple more days, and then we should really be organized. And so, a special note. On Friday, it's usually 10 o'clock Mountain Standard Time that I have my live. But I'm actually having it an hour early, so it's 9 o'clock Mountain Standard Time because I have a Master Gardener state meeting. And since I'm the state president, I have to be on the Zoom. And so it will be very cool. And so it'll just be an hour earlier, and it'll be fun. Tony says, we're in the high 54 right now, and in October we usually have a couple of storms. 80 miles per hour to 120 miles per hour. That is bad. I mean, we are windy when we are 45, 60 miles per hour, but that is craziness. So, but we're doing laundry because when you leave to go back home, you cover things with sheets. Your tables, your TVs, your couches, all kinds of stuff you cover with sheets. So then when you come back, it's not as dusty because Yuma has dust. And so, Doug, I saw that you had one, but I have not watched it yet. So I will try to watch that tonight. We didn't have, everything connected, and we didn't have internet until today, though I could have watched it, I suppose, on my phone. But I didn't, Doug, so I will. And Anne is here. Hello, how are you? Oh, no, it doesn't matter. People are busy. They come in and out, and, And I know that Tim at Ridge Life has a live tonight, and a whole bunch of people have lives tonight. Rick, thank you so much for stopping by. And I never like to have my lives for very long. I think I went through everything. See, I make a list, things I wanted to talk about. Otherwise, it's gone. It's not in my head, and I forget. If you haven't seen Anne's tomato video, make sure you watch her tomato video because it is massive, humongous. So, but it's just going to be a lot of work. The next few days, I want to show you a couple of things. Okay, now can you see that? I hope you can. on my Fuse Glass channel, I had done some pieces, some pendants. And then I took my saw. I have what they call a Taurus, like a Taurus car, Taurus saw. And so then I cut around the leaves and around the flowers. I'm going to make these into pendants. But let me show you my very favorite one. And I don't know if you can tell, but it's literally cut out around there with the saw. I don't know if and see. And then I'll just put the back here. I wonder if, see how it's cut out? They're so much fun. I tell you. See, you still can't tell on that side, but on the back side, you can tell that it's cut out. And I'm going to give a couple of them away on Friday at my regular Fuse Glass YouTube. But I made things like little starfish, flowers, leaves. They were so much fun. A little fish in the kitchen. How are you? Thank you for stopping by. Stella says she's got to go. Thanks for stopping by. And then I wanted to show you one other thing that I did. I've been making Christmas trees. But tell me what you think about this Christmas tree. Now, it's not what you would think of as a conventional Christmas tree. What do you think about that? I found it very funky. And it's kind of hard to tell, but see, it's blues and reds, and it's got some oranges on it. It's totally fun. And I thought I'd make a few more of these with different colors, I wish you could see it more in the light, but the light's in front of me, so that makes it kind of hard. But it's got different blues and greens. Well, not green, sorry. Reds right here. See, it's kind of hard to tell. It looks more orange on my camera. But they're actually red, and it's what it's called is reactionary glass. So like when I made it, it all looked blue. But then when I bring it out of the kiln, some of the reactionary glasses change. And sometimes it's green or red. And this ones are red because of the temperature and all kinds of stuff. So it's totally crazy. Hi, Sue. How are ya? Thank you. I love doing glasswork. And, sometimes it's just silly little fun things that look like, because don't you think those are fun little pendants for kids? That's what I think, I think it is kind of modern, I mean, I have a whole bunch of my traditional ones, and all my members, I'm sending Christmas ornaments that I'm making out of glass for them. And so that's kind of fun. And Tina says, I love my ladybug, Sandy. And because her channel is Tina Ladybug, she needed a ladybug. And so that's just the way it is. And Tina, just let me know when you do it, because I'd like to watch it. So I appreciate it. But everybody, I so appreciate it. We are happy to be here. And Joe and I both said it's like, you get it all unpacked and everything. And, we went for a walk last night, and we saw some of our friends that we know. They were riding their golf cart. I don't know where they had been, but they were in the village still. And so we talked to them for a while, and it was just so fun. I do see it has a little hook on it, a little loop that you do with it's high temperature wire is what you're using. And so then if you do hang them in the sunlight, then all the light it's refractions, and it looks really cool. So there's a lot of things that I've been working on, and so I am going to let you go. Doug, happy birthday. Let me switch that one more time. His Way Homestead, and happy birthday. And I have a card, and I will mail it tomorrow. But everyone, thank you so much. I appreciate it beyond words. And I hope you look forward to the raised beds that are the cheapest, most durable raised beds you probably will ever make. So that video will be up. We're doing these this week so we can have strawberry plants and more herbs. And I'll do a video and show you how massive those herbs that had been grown in these kind of things. And I planted them around the citrus, so they got that water all summer long. But literally, some of those basil stalks are like this big around, and usually when you're growing basil, they're thin, but it is just massive. So I'll do a video about that too. But everyone, I appreciate it. And thank you so much. And happy birthday, Doug. And remember, Friday morning's video is an hour early. And I will see you next time. So thanks so much for stopping by.